What are you doing?
Oh, hi Dottie. Just reading a book.
What are you reading?
Gardener's Art Through the Ages. This is my most favorite book.
What do you know about art?
Well, I know I like to paint.
Me too.
What's your specialty?
Finger painting.
Well, I have an abstract painting that I made. Would you like to see it?
Can I say no?
No.
I suppose.
So, what do you think?
What is it?
It's abstract art. Abstract art is more about feelings and emotions. There really isn't any right way to paint it.
That's a good thing, because it looks like you were having a seizure while you did it.
Moving on. Do you know who Georgia O'Keeffe is?
Isn't it that chick who painted big flowers, dead animal heads, and porn?
Well, yes to the big flowers. Yes to the cow skulls. No to the porn. Do I look like somebody who'd look at porn?
Well,
Don't answer that.
okay.
Georgia O'Keeffe started out painting abstract art. She competed with men in the field of art because it was a role that women weren't accepted in.
Well, that's just sexist.
Now, you can't judge different time periods by today's standards. Life was much different then. This was in the early 1900s, and it was considered harmful to the sanctity of marriage if women worked outside of the house. Careers were reserved for single women. How can a career woman work and take care of her husband?
How did Georgia do it?
She didn't really care about what society thought. All she wanted to do was paint. And although music was her first love, she found a way to combine the two. And that's what makes her abstract art so interesting.
Maybe she listened to music while she painted, so the tunes would float through her ears into her fingers into her paintings.
Well, that's an interesting thought. Would you like to look at some of her art?
Sure, that'd be cool.
Let's see what we got here. Okay, technical difficulties. Almost ready. There we go. So if you would notice on this art piece that there doesn't really have any recognizable form. It's got curves and it's got pretty colors, but you can't recognize anything in it.
It looks kind of blurry.
That's because you're a little too close there, Dottie. Abstract art tends to look a little better if you stand a little distance away from it.
Oh, I see it now. It kind of looks like a big wave that you would see in the ocean.
That's the thing about abstract art, is it's subjective. People see what they feel in the art. Interpretation for each person is different. Let's see what else we have. Yay, I did it without moving it. Notice that this one is called Pink and Blue Music. See how it flows across the page? It almost looks like she was listening to classical music. Very nice.
I know. Everyone likes Cinderella.
All right, now, how about this one?
I think maybe she was having a bad day. It looks like a storm was brewing. I see at the top there's a lot of it looks like dark clouds up there.
Well, I think you might be right. Maybe she was angry when she painted it. But you know, she also painted flowers that were interpreted by male art critics as being provocative and sexual.
I can't imagine why.
It was during this time that Freud and his psychoanalysis came to the forefront. He saw sex and his mother everywhere.
Well, I definitely hope not at the same time.
No, you silly. That just seemed to be what his themes were. It's what he focused on. And his insight influenced society. And since men dominated society, this attitude will prevail in male art critics' review of female art.
Oh, I'm thinking that way they were just frisky old men.
Well, you never know, but let's look at some of her flowers.
Okay.
Georgia liked to focus on one part of the flower and emphasize it.
I like this one. It looks like she started in the middle and then worked her way out.
Well, you're right. I liken her work to an x-ray where it focuses on one part of the body, and this really is no different.
The petals are lovely.
They are, aren't they? I love the color contrast.
Definitely.
Let's look at this one. Look at that.
Ooh, it's a rose.
Well, you're right. It is a rose, and in the middle here, in the opening, some could say it's a symbol of blossoming sexuality, but you know, sometimes a rose is just a rose.
Agreed.
Now, this next one is one of her more famous paintings, but the art critics didn't like this, and this is one that was reflective of her sexuality.
What is it?
Well, it's an iris. It's like one of the irises I have in my garden. In this particular painting, she focused on what's called the beard of the iris, and this is the center, with the petals furling towards the center. They come in so many different colors. This one is more of the purple and blue kind.
Oh, I see it now.
So, what'd you think about art?
It looked like she had a lot of time on her hands.
Well, it does take a lot of time to produce something like this. Do you think you could ever paint beautiful pieces like this artwork that Georgia has?
Not by finger painting, I don't think.
Well, thank you for joining me to look at Georgia O'Keeffe's art.
I guess it was interesting, but I'm thinking I might want to go get some ice cream now.
What flavor are you going to go get?
I'm thinking maybe Blue Moon with chocolate on top.
Well, I don't like that one, but can you bring me back a vanilla cone?
No.
Well, you have fun anyway.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Can I have my lip ring back now?
Oh, I suppose you can. So this is my daughter Jamie, who I wouldn't have been able to do this without her help. She is my technical advisor and my puppet master.